Grant from Screen Rant. How you doing,
how's it
Megan?
going? Nice to see you.
It's good to see you as well, and to really talk about this film. I mean, it sounds like it's a very powerful one already. I know you got to get in there really quickly, so I'd love to hear. Every director unlocks something new, I feel like, in their actor, and I'd love to hear what it was about working with Max that maybe you unlocked something new in you to take into future projects.
That's an amazing question. I think what's so special about Max is that he's so deeply genuine. And he never places an expectation on an actor. He sort of is just there with them. And I think if there's one thing I would say that I could take away from that experience with him, it would just be to sort of trust myself, which is a really, really beautiful thing for him to have sort of sprinkled on me. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a dream collaborative experience. I'm glad you got to have that. I know a few other people want to talk to you, so I'll let you go down the line, but thank you so much. You as well. Hey, Grant from Screen Rant. How you doing, Josh?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. I really can't wait to get in there and watch this movie. So I know you got to get in there. So, I mean, you're coming right off of Challengers with this. You also got Wake Up Dead Man in the future with Rian Johnson. Mm-hmm. How do you go about determining what filmmakers you want to work with and what movies you want to work on?
It's a good question. I actually don't overthink it, is the truth. I think, first of all, I'm extremely lucky to get to work as an actor, so I always feel very grateful for that. And then script is always a big aspect of it. There are certain directors like Ryan or like Max who just who I'm really excited to work with. I think there's a lot of I think variation is the key. You know, all the actors that I aspire to are kind of, you know what their next move is and stretch themselves. I like to kind of find myself playing someone who I'm like, God, I have no clue what I'm doing. And that's always terrifying and exciting. So, yeah, I guess variation is the one for me, yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing how your and Max's collaboration turned out on screen. Thank you for taking the time.
Thanks so much. Nice to meet you. Cheers.
Well, very excited to chat with you. Very excited to hear about this film first and foremost. What was one of the big things that really drew you to want to be a part of it? Was it Max's script? Was it your character? What did you find was really intriguing to you?
And what was really intriguing at first was just the script, and Max created such a beautiful script from personal experience, and you could tell initially from his writing that he really constructed something beautiful. But it wasn't even just the script; it was just the subject matter that he was focusing on. Not just the tragedy of these wildfires, but what happens after. And it was a really beautiful way he explored it, and it was just really attractive to me. And Mila was just such a very interesting part of this story, and she had so many layers that I could build on, and I love building on a character. And Max was very open to kind of having a conversation about who she was. He kind of let me run with it, which was awesome.
That sounds like a very dream collaborative experience. I'm glad you got to have that. And so I love hearing, you've worked with other directors before, and every director I always find unlocks something new within an actor. Did you find that Max unlocked something new in you as a performer going in that you can take with you in future projects?
I mean, absolutely. His approach was way different. I mean, I've worked with a few directors, not too many as of yet, hopefully many, many in the future. But his approach, he just created this atmosphere of such peace and groundedness and just very gentle. It was very gentle in a way that really works for him. And even the character that I had was way different than anything I've experienced. So the fact that his approach was different and my character was something, was a bit of a challenge for me, something I'd never done before, which I jumped on it because I love a challenge. He created just an atmosphere that I will always remember and kind of take me back to that calm and that peace and that grounding with this character, yeah.
Well, again, it sounds like the dream experience that I've had with a director. I hope future directors give you that same experience. I know other people want to talk to you, so before I let you go, really excited you're also part of the Wind River sequel cast, and I'm still eagerly awaiting any updates you have for it. Have you heard any updates on when we might start seeing images or a release date on it?
Just as much as I do, unfortunately. I am really excited about Wind River 2 as well, so just keep your eye out for it, and I can't wait to share it with the world.
All right. Well, in the meantime, I look forward to sharing this with the world because it sounds like a very powerful movie. Thank you so much.
It was nice to meet you.
You as well. Hi, Grant from Screen Rant. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm really excited to chat about this film and see it when we get the chance to see it. Have you had the chance to watch the movie yet?
I got to see it back home. Max sent me a small preview of it, but not the whole movie.
What was your first impression on what you saw so far?
It was such a beautiful film, and so nice and slow, but perfectly slow. It's perfectly paced.
Well, I can't wait to see how the full product turns out. So, speaking of Max, then, what was it like working with him? What was a big lesson maybe you learned from him for going into your future acting?
I don't think I learned many lessons, not that I can remember, but he was just so lovely to work with, so kind, always making sure that I was in the right costume, always making sure that I was okay before getting anything else ready.
Sounds like a very heavy movie, so I'm glad that he was checking in on you. So what is one of the big things that you really look forward to audiences taking away from the movie when they see it?
One of the messages from the movie is hope can be found even in the toughest of times. So, yeah, I really hope that people take that away with the LA fires, and yeah, so.
Well, again, I really can't wait to see it, you and everybody else, so thank you so much. Very excited to chat about this film. First and foremost, I couldn't help but overhear you mention that this came from an act of imagination as much as sort of a Reis visit to home. How much did you find you were pulling from your own personal experience versus pulling from, like you said, that sort of imaginative space?
I don't know. It's such a mix. I write for places I know very well and people I know very well and ways of life that are very familiar and very dear to me and landscapes that I've lived my life in. But I also love fiction. And every character is designed to be invented and discovered by whoever's playing it. And while there's a lot of myself and my own questions in the movie, it's not necessarily about my own experiences. My hope is that fiction is a powerful thing, and there's a lot to be discovered in imagination and in pretend and in play, and there's like a lot of hope and beauty in that reality doesn't always provide.
Well, I'm really curious to see, again, just how all of that meshes together. And I mean, you talk about writing for characters, people you know. What was it like finding Josh to really bring, be the anchor for audiences in this film?
Yeah, it was interesting because I wrote, it's a very regional story and very close to a very specific part of the world and country where I'm from and Josh isn't. But in trying to imagine who could play this character, it provoked these really interesting questions to me of like, what is real really? Like, is it a passport? Is it a dialect? Or is it some bigger, weirder thing? Is it like some spirit, some soul, some kind of mystical thing that people share? And I just shared something with Josh, and the way we looked at the world was the same, and his questions and mine were the same. And his sense of land and legacy and it all just rang so true to me. And despite the oceans apart we were, I was like, man, I don't know. I think like somehow this is the guy, and I'm so glad that he was. And what a pleasure to work with him, just as sweet and talented a man as there is.
Sounds like a dream collaborative experience for you. I'm glad you got to find him. And again, I know I keep saying it, but I am really looking forward to this one. So thank you so much for taking the time.
I hope you enjoy.
Thank you.